I know this is very hard to say, but the hardest thing you can imagine yourself as a man that you're dealing with is the fact that you're not able to satisfy your woman in bed. Welcome to King Reynard Podcast, where we educate, elevate, and inspire you to greatness. You know, sex is a topic that has been flagged in so many spaces. We give it a tag that, it's a taboo. We can't talk about it publicly. As a man, you can't say the fact that you have a problem with your sex life. And so everybody coils and suffers with their own sexual problems. And we won't talk about it. Why? One, for fear of the fact that people will realize that actually, as good as he looks, he has a problem with sex. Two, we are afraid that if I have an intercourse with another lady and she realizes I have this problem here, I'll literally lose her because her respect for me will go down. Three, the fear of not giving birth. That's generally the worst fear ever. So, allow me in this episode just to talk about the three things that are actually causing you to have erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation. Remember, the information in this podcast is not meant for medical purposes. It's just an advice from somebody, something I've used practically and I've seen the effect working in my life. And I believe if you just implement the formulas I will talk about today, very practical. I'm not going to recommend you to go buy some sort of chemical or medicine or something. We are going to talk, man. This is very important. And so if you've made it this far, then I'm sure you need to subscribe to our channel at King Reynard Podcast because you need this information. We live in a society that glorifies very bad quality food. And man, the way our sexual organ works, as opposed to women, is that blood has to be rushed into the spongy mesophile tissues in your organ for it to be able to erect. So that goes without saying that if you eat certain types of food, then it will affect the blood flow into your organ, into your penis. And so with that, you will have either a weak erection or no erection at all. And this is a major problem. I'm not talking about something that is just affecting one or two people. Some people as early as the age of 25 have begun having this problem because of alcohol. And these are the drugs that we get to use. And so, until you understand how to take care of your sexual organs as a man, you will live your life wondering and worrying about being maybe somebody has bewitched you, your grandfather, your grandmother, they went to the witch doctor for you. No. Number one, the first thing any man must do, whether you're young, old, middle ground, or whatever, you need to have a workout routine. You need to go to the gym if you can. If you can't, practice some workout in the house. Because what training, especially hard training, does, it clears your heart, your traction within your heart and that pumping system, so that whenever you hit yourself hard, whenever you sweat, whenever your heart beats so hard, it regenerates itself. And so blood flow becomes easy. Number two, work on the food that you eat. You cannot be, as a man, just concentrated at eating things like French fries. You're just eating a lot of sugar. You're drinking a lot of alcohol. Listen, what is more important? The pleasure of feeling high shortly or the long-term pain of losing your sexual abilities? No, listen, I'm going to give you practical solutions. If you found yourself in a place where you have these issues, let me give you an example. There was a time I love using my example because I'm the only person who will not beat me for using my examples. And so listen to this. As a young man, about the age of 18, 19, I got into my first relationship. It started so sparky. It was so interesting. It was so good. And then as we continued dating, I realized that I was losing my potential as a man because of the kind of food that I was eating and the lifestyle of pressure that I was constantly pushing myself into because of my girlfriend. So at some point, I couldn't literally be able to sustain a strong erection, or if I could, I wouldn't be able to sustain longer erection that would lead this woman into orgasm. And guess what? Every lady watching this video today, your greatest desire is to orgasm, not just to finish sex. You all desire to orgasm, and so many men must understand that orgasm is one thing that is the dream of every woman, and because they can't get it from you, so they say not every woman can do it. Now, there are a few exercises that I've actually used. If you found yourself having a problem with erectile dysfunction, that you cannot sustain a strong erection, you cannot be able to sustain longer erection for successful sex, all right, I found myself, as I said, having this problem. So I began researching, I began going into details, into philosophies that would help me, and one of them that worked for me is very interesting. Number one, there is a concept called sharpening the knife. Men, sit down. Don't move. Don't touch that dial. Subscribe, like, comment, share, but stay there. All right? So this is what happened. So I noticed that because of the nature of our organ that I've explained is spongy mesophile, when it is left just like that with the type of food we eat, blood which contains proteins, are sometimes, because you've eaten a lot of proteins, a lot of not protein, low fat or high fat food, what happens is that your blood goes and gets contaminated with a lot of fats. So these fats makes your blood thick, which leads to things like high blood pressure, heart attack, and all that. But now, for you as a man, the first thing this will do is that it will block the holes within your sex organ, and so blood cannot flow freely. So what must you do? You will need to sharpen the knife. And I practically would wish to show you this, but let me just explain how it is done. So you have your organ, right? And so if this is your organ, you're supposed to take a bit of baby oil, jelly, and apply it in your hands. Make sure you rub it so hard so that until you feel some heat generated in your hands. Then you'll have to grab your machine like this. And listen, there's a difference between what I'm talking about and self-inflicted pleasure, because so many people think that I'm teaching you to get self-pleasure. No. So what you're going to do, you're going to actually massage your penis painfully. That's the difference. Not pleasurably, painfully. So you're going to pick it from down and rub it up to the glands, up to the top here. So you rub it 1, 2, 50 times on the left, 50 times on the right, 50 times down, and 50 times up. 50. Yes. Somebody's literally asking 50. Let me tell you why 50. At the beginning, you'll need to do it longer, 50 and above. 50 times both all the 4 sides. Then as you get stronger, you're going to reduce it to 20, to 30, to 20, to 10, and sometimes just 5 times. Anyway, so what that will do, as you massage the walls of this spongy mesophile spaces, gets, if they had fat, let's just assume they had fat. As you massage, you're actually creating space. This pressure is creating space between these holes, and guess what? The veins around your penis also gets elated, and that's how blood will begin flowing. Do that for a minimum of 21 days if you're already suffering. Minimum 21 days. Number 2, the second exercise, very, very important. You're going to practice something called pee hold. Very interesting, right? So anytime you go to the washroom to take a pee, what you're going to do, Most of you, when you go to the washroom, the first thing you do is to hold your machine and then you shake. No. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to practice something called pee holding. So you start, you pee, and once it's coming out, you hold. And release again, hold. Release, hold until you're done. This exercise will strengthen the nerve that connects your urethra and your G-spot. Remember, every man watching me here should be aware that your G-spot is actually inside your anus. Did you know that? And that's why actually some men have never achieved orgasm, because they've never understood how to squeeze their G-spot so that they experience a tantric sexual orgasm. So most men are used to what we would call ejaculation. There's a huge difference between ejaculation and orgasm. Ejaculation is just a man releasing the sperms, all right? Natural, easy. You can do that even with how do we call it? Baby jelly or what else? What else do you use? Something. You understand? So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about extreme orgasm, which happens only when you squeeze your anus well, which is the third exercise. You are going to begin doing this very funny, weird, but important exercise. You sit down. Anytime you sit down, especially when you wake up, the first thing you need to do, you need to squeeze your anus. Like, I'm doing it, so I thought you could see what I'm doing. But anyway, let me try to explain. You're going to squeeze your what you call the butthole. Squeeze it so hard once, twice. Just keep doing it. At least, I'm about to shock somebody else again, 300 times a day for 21 days. You don't have to do it like 300 times, all of it. You do 50, then 50, then 50. Anytime you find time. Listen, men, you are working on your chest to look better so that people can see you out there, right? You're working on your bank account to have more money. Why are you not working on your sexual organ, which is one of the most important organs for procreation? Hey, these are basic exercises that you can just do anywhere, anytime. Because the last exercise is also very important. Learn to meditate. Learn to relax yourself. Because one of the things that reduces your sexual performance is tension. You move into your sex act with tension. I want to make sure she enjoys this thing. Man, I will prove to her. Stop it, bro. You're going to fail yourself. Tutakucheka. Not atatuambia. Listen, the most important thing you have to do before you get into any sexual act is make sure as a man you are totally relaxed and lower your expectations. Don't you hype it so high with what you'd call heightened, how do we call it? Fantasy. Oh, you look at her. Stop imagining all those things. In fact, something interesting, if you want to have a good sex, once you have sustained an erection and you've done a penetration, you need to stop thinking about the pleasure, start thinking about all the problem you have. Interesting, intriguing, yes. When you push your attention away from the pleasure onto something else, you will actually be focusing on making this woman enjoy this thing. Because in the other episode, I'll talk about how to satisfy your woman and to allow her get to the point of achieving orgasm. Very important. Remember, as I conclude, penetration is not the only way women wants to enjoy sex. If you'd ask any woman watching me here today, women, you can comment down there. If you had a man who does more foreplay than just penetration, who would you go for? The man who has more penetration or more foreplay? Answer me down there, because that would inform our next episode on this chapter of how to. Until next time, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed and you turn the notification bell, because you'll be the first to be notified that we've posted a video. We post at least 2 videos per week to ensure that you're fed and you're given the right information to educate you, elevate you, and inspire you to greatness. Today, you've learned how to make your weapon stronger for mass destruction. Until next time, cheers.